Sorry, sir. Shall we start now, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I am Pravina. My topic is about causes of climate change. So I think climate change is a long term of warming and due to an increasing average global temperature. Like the causes by human activities like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere. So the causes are burning for fossil fuels, deforestations, and land use changes release carbon dioxide. They are gases trapping heat into the atmosphere. So that time the climate will cause the change of the. So that time the atmosphere caused by the climate. Sir. So an intensive farming the monoculture and synthetic fertilizers are used to contribute to the climate changes. An increasing global population and consumption patterns drive energy demand, leading to the higher greenhouse gases emissions.
Okay, Pravina, will you able to live without any transport? Because the most of the transport combustion process happens on the emitting carbon dioxide. Without the transportation system, without petrols, we cannot able to travel from one place to another place. No. So, do you feel that carbon dioxide is making primary climate change, correct? So, do you don't feel that it is essential to emit carbon dioxide for our daily day traveling?
Oh, okay, sir. I'll accept that. But we use that carbon dioxide when when we need urgently. So we never use that. We never use the daily basis. It's all accepted. But we use the carbon dioxide in a simple way. Like when we want to go out, when the simple steps outdoor, we never use the transport. No. So that time we'll walk and go and brought the notes, right.
Yeah, the given point by you is valid. We only take our two-wheelers or four-wheelers vehicles anyway for longer distance. Even for longer distance only, it emits lots of carbon dioxide. No, for shorter distance, we most of the time don't use. If you keep on using vehicles for longer distance or shorter distance for any distance, it is going to emit carbon dioxide. Yeah, so petrol or gasoline, any natural gas become essential for our day-to-day basis. How are you going to control it? If we are keep on complaining about the causes causing by the vehicles or transportation system, what are the vehicles emitting carbon dioxide? But people who talking about climate change don't put their ideas how to mitigate this. So I like to will you please explain how you mitigate this?
Yes.
Same time, I need essential. I need vehicles as essential transport for transferring from one place to another place. Will you give any
Yes,
mitigation
sir.
step for this?
Yes. So when we go sorry uh, while when we go out, we're using carbon dioxide. It may be a longer distance, as you said. It may be a longer distance or shorter distance. That place, we could stop our vehicle. No. So that place will reduce to at least 0.1% will reduce the carbon dioxide as the climate change will not affect the atmosphere, right? So that time and all will raise our vehicle, so it will make cause the atmosphere, right? So that time will just wind up our vehicle or.
So,
Yeah, you have.
Roshni, Roshni and Sugandhi, I mean, you can also support Pravina in this.
Sir, I would like to give another point. Even at the ancient time, not that much back at the 90s or 80s, even at that time also, they were mining for coals and making the transportation. But at that time, the climate change doesn't affect that much speed. Okay, yeah. So now currently, the cause of climate change is because of most greenhouse gas emission, which is affected because of human activities. So the petroleum gas which saying is for essential for traveling, I accept that point, but it is only for needy, not for the greediness that the human has.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
sir, you said cons or causes, sir.
So,
I heard
uh,
cons only, sir.
correct. So, we had 5 people, right? So, Gopinath, who was the other person with you?
I think there's someone named Darshini, but he left
Yeah,
the
she dropped.
session.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, that's fine. That's fine. So, in that case, Sukant, I mean, you can talk about cons of climate condition along with Roshni and Sukanti. Sorry, Pravina. So,
Okay,
Gopinath
sir.
will be the only person who will be talking against you, all 3 of you.
Okay, sir.
Roshini, have you completed your points? Is there
Yes,
any
Anna,
point
I
you left?
have the points.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. Yes, good. Um, Roshni have given a point that humans are emitting lots of carbon dioxide for their greediness. May let us assume what humans doing for greedy. First of all, I'm traveling from my from my home to my college, and that comes under greediness. If an ambulance is traveling, that also not under greediness. Uh, Manufacturing TVs, phones, and other products. Are you considering that as a greediness of a person? I don't know. We have to separate this. Most of the time, no one going to going to emit CO2 for the greediness. It is essential. It becomes essential. You cannot avoid CO2 emissions. I like to. I expecting you all to bring how you can mitigate CO2. That's my point here. People who talking about climate change, they keep on talk about climate change, but they don't bring a point to how to mitigate CO2. That's the point here. I'm leaving as a challenge for you all guys. Will you bring a point which can mitigate the CO2? If you don't have a steps to mitigate CO2, then I win. Okay.
Last 2 minutes, guys.
May I help you? Today, Musk and all doing EV vehicles now. So anyone can talk about the EV vehicles.
So I think not only CO2 is major problem. There are so many problems arising due to climate change. First of all, environmental impact. Climate changes mainly causes environmental impact like natural disasters, frequent natural disasters like droughts, floods, and melting polar ice caps and rising sea levels. These are also the major causes due to climate change and loss of biodiversity. Some species we are humans having six sense. We are we are struggling and trying to adapt to the um, adapt to the new temperatures and habitats. But the species like birds, animals, they are still struggling to adapt to changing temperatures and habitats. Next, next, next main cause, next main cause for cause not. Next main cons because of climate change is economic consequences like damage of infrastructures, decline in agriculture. Like if a flood is came means increase in food prices, increase in food materials. Next, negative impact on industrials like tours and fisheries, etc. Next, health risk also. Due to high climate change, there are many health risks arise to us, like high temperature leads to many deaths and leads to high diseases. Air pollution gives us asthma. Next, heat waves. Heat waves also, um, heat waves also nowadays in Tamil Nadu it occurs more. It gives us heat-based illness and deaths, etc. Can we talk about that also? I think.
Yeah, it's a valid point given by Suganti. You say lots of natural disaster, no? For each natural disaster, we are using some technology, correct? If a flood happens, we use some boats. What are other? If you have a earthquake, we use lots of transportation system. If a tsunami
But
happen, we use
but we
helicopters. Okay,
but we use after occurs only, not before. We are using after the disaster occurs.
okay, for
We are
that you need
trying,
a
but
technology, no? If a technology need to grow up,
yes,
uh,
still it is not in innovated. I think
see,
so.
in previous days, if a natural disaster happens, means you know that in previous days also natural disaster happens. In that time, there is no climate change and all.
That is
In that
rarely only.
No, there is a frequent natural disasters also. History repeats. Let me say here. In previous days, there are also a natural disaster where only people dies. There is no previous information given. But now we have given with the previous information and the evacuation steps are taken. So it happens due to technology development. Combined by it also causes some disadvantage. But we cannot. Avoid entirely the growth of tech development. No, how will you handle this without having a technology? In that time, would you going to say the climate change is going to happen if you develop these technologies? So, what is your
But we
point on
can
that?
prevent. But we can prevent.
I would like to give an answer for Gopinath's unasked question. Uh, to reduce CO2 around the atmosphere, we can go with two steps. One is afforestation. Afforestation can reduce carbon dioxide around the atmosphere. It can produce oxygen too. So the second method is carbon-free fuel. If you can invest in carbon free fuel, it is a fuel like kind of synthetic fuel or hydrogen fuels. So if we use that kind of fuels for traveling or shipping, it may reduce carbon dioxide around the atmosphere. So the climate change also cannot be affected that much level what is currently which is current trend now. That's all my point is.
It's a very good point you have given. Yes, we need afforestation. That's first mitigation step we need to do. And you also added that synthetic fuels. I am not sure how that even that also can provide pollution. I'm not confident about that. So I like to conclude
It
that
will
you
also
don't appreciate.
provide pollution. It will also pollute pollution, but not this much level, which is currently going on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh, Roshini, do you know that for you have added something hydrogen fuel? No.
Yes, Anna.
Do you know how hydrogen fuel is prepared?
Um, 1 minute.
Okay, let me explain. Most of the hydrogens are separated from water. Okay, for that you
Yes.
need a high energy resource. Okay, um, if you are taking energy resource from nuclear reactor, it comes under nuclear pollution. If you are taking energy resource from coal, it also comes under it also causes pollution. So anyway, pollution will be caused. But you have a very good point. That is using hydrogen fuel, kind of reducing the pollution caused by petrol. Is your point you have even no? Yes. Okay, we're going to end this session. So I like to add a point. You don't appreciate light if you don't experience darkness. No, we are in the dark period now. Um, so we see that because of climate change, there is lots of changes happening. We are all converting to green energy. We are converting to solar. As Roshni said, there is innovation for alternative fuel. I don't support EVs because for EV we need batteries. In batteries we use lithium ions. More for extraction of lithium ions, we emitting lots of greenhouse gases. So I'm not stick on to that. But there is we are searching for alternative ways now. In the recent times, Japan have created an engine use magnetic levitations. So we have some more innovating something new and driving our entire nation, entire world into green technology. So we are in the dark period now. So we are going to mitigate the lots of things into green energy. If climate change doesn't happen means we never going to do this and that. So I think climate change has taught us a lesson. See, if you keep on emitting natural gas, if you don't be conscious about your mother earth, one day you go all going to end up. So that's a lesson taught by our mother earth. So I'm taking this as a lesson and leaving a thought as we all need to contribute to green energies. There is no point that is if you use less petrol, we don't have pollution. If you use less transportation system, that is inevitable because if you have in a family you have 5 members means at least one of them going to use any transportation. At the end of the day, it's going to cause pollution. But we can do alternate transportation system. That is the thing we need to choose. Instead of I'm not going to use any greenhouse gases emitting vehicles. That is not the point. You need to decide what type of vehicle you're going to use in future. That's what I like to leave here. If anyone having opinion about my idea, you can please add a point here.
And actually, you said that for producing hydrogen petrol, also we need such a electric power, right? For producing green hydrogen petrols, we just need a wind or solar or a hydro energy, which is we are commonly using right now also. So for preparing instead of preparing normal petrols, we can use this. This is beneficial and it also produces only less amount of pollution. And even we can use gray, sorry, gray hydrogen petrol also. That is also efficient and significant. Uh, that's all, Anna.
Usually, yeah, you have given a very good point that we can use some green. You are saying that you're going to convert synthetic hydrogen fuel with the use of green energy like wind energy, some other energies you have told. But see, I don't know what is a conception of petrol. And on daily day basis that India is taking. For that and all, you cannot depend only on these green energies. For that, you need to have a heavy voltage support, So for that time, you're going to use some other energy system like a nuclear, any system that provide you
Yeah,
electrical energy.
actually, a normal petrol can emit the significant pollutants like carbon dioxide. It produces much amount of carbon dioxide. Instead of
Yes.
uh,
Okay.
instead of reducing carbon dioxide, we can use green hydrogen petrol that causes only a little amount of carbon dioxide, right? So that it cannot prevent climate change. I accept the point, but it can reduce. That's the point is.
Roshni, my point is, yeah, hydrogen fuels emits less amount of carbon dioxide. Okay, that's okay. But you're going to prepare a hydrogen fuel, no? For the manufacture of hydrogen fuel, you definitely need lots of energy. Okay, for that
Yeah,
energy, you're going to yes.
the lots of energy we are going to use from the wind energy or solar energy, the thermal
That's
energy.
my point. You cannot commercially, if you are going to make hydrogen fuel for more peoples, you cannot all dependent on this green energy. Okay, do you know how much voltages we gain from wind as of now? From in wind energy, and what is the voltage we gaining from nuclear reactors and the coal thermal electricity producers?
I accept the point, Anna. But even for
Hmm.
producing the normal fuel, there are lots of steps process which is mandatorily we are doing, right. For
Oh,
compared to the normal
hmm.
petroleum, we can use this. It is making the process easier, which is we are already using it. So it can reduce our manpower, right?
Cool. Guys, I mean, it's an excellent discussion. Sorry to stop it at this moment. We are already 2 minutes past the time, but see, I'm so happy about today's session, right? Because thankfully, and thanks for the reminder, Gopinath. Because see, the debate, when we said debate, it literally created the vibe that we needed, right? And I can really see the focus that you guys had, and the way how you communicated between each other, right? It's really commendable. And I think going forward, we may need to continue this debate session for a couple more weeks, so that that gives you the needed confidence about speaking up freely, right? And then once we are out of that, then we can again get into the group discussion mode, where we can focus more on the speech, the grammatical way of representing and things like that. But I mean, I'm so happy about today's session, guys. And and one thing that really stood out was I mean, every one of you had some point to talk, right? And also all of you were in fact talking between each other, which is really good. But few more things that you can consider for the next session, right? So let's say if three of you are supporting a point, and then try to support your co-speakers as well. That actually will boost up the conversation, right? And Gopinath, you did a commendable job in terms of being a lone warrior on the other side. But again, I did it purposefully because I know for sure, irrespective of the topics, you are going to talk. And at the same time, I really wanted to appreciate Pravina, Roshini, and Sugandhi as well for fearlessly bringing their points. And in certain stages, I really felt that they were responding to all your questions, and it is really nice to see that. And overall, I'm so happy with today's session, guys. That's why I didn't have any other specific feedback. There is a great improvement compared to the past sessions, and let's continue the same way. And I think the impromptu topics are really going to help. So next week, it's not going to be from the list that we have. It may be a new topic as well. So be ready for that. Any questions before we wind up?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Perfect. So happy, guys. Have a nice weekend, and let's continue discussing next week. And one more thing, right? Maybe we'll take a pause next weekend, because I know it's a year end. You may have some celebrations and things like that. Harini, let's continue on January 4th. or 5th, whichever people are. I mean, whichever is best for people. Harani?
Okay, Anna.
Perfect. Cool. And as usual, please send the list of attendees versus absentees. Okay. And what we have to do is for the on the repeated absentees, right? Let's remove them from the group.
Okay, Anna.
And we can add the new folks.
Okay, Anna.
Okay. Cool, guys. Thank you all for joining.
Thanks so much, sir,
Thanks.
for giving this wonderful debate topic to us.
Oh, nice. Anytime. And advance happy New Year wishes. So
Thank you,
we'll
sir.
talk to you
Merry
next
Christmas
year.
and
Happy
Happy
New Year.
Yeah. Merry Christmas as well. Cool. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.